Hello, welcome to another video. And I'm going to be giving my prediction for the Super Bowl like I did for the Commanders game. I think I did for the Rams game. But to absolutely no surprise, my feelings for this game is very similar to the Commanders game in a weird way. I start off by thinking, I'm worried. Obviously, it's the Chiefs. They've won 2 in a row. They're always there. They're always close to, they're always somewhat, Final Four, pretty much. They have Patrick Mahomes. They beat the Eagles 2 years ago. I was worried, thinking, like I don't know if they're going to win. And throughout the 2 weeks, which has been nice to kind of, wind down a bit, throughout the 2 weeks to kind of wrap my head around it more and such, I have began to feel way more confident about this football game. And I think the Eagles win. Just being honest, like on paper, everything like that, I actually see the Eagles like winning by a margin, like at least 7 points in this game. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout. Like my thought with the Commanders game is the same for this, where it's like I think the Eagles will be winning and they'll comfortably winning, but they don't just absolutely blow them. Like they ended up blowing out the Commanders, but there was a good stretch where it was a close game. Eagles just had the lead. Couple plays go a different way. It might be even closer. I think it stays in that close range, but at the end of the day, the Eagles win by like 7 points. Like give me like 30. What do I want? Like 31-24-ish. Something around that would be what I think the final score is. It could be lower on both ends because both defenses are really good. I would say neither offenses is like one of the best in the league. Eagles has been very good. They run the ball super, super well. And the Chiefs are just very goddamn solid across the board, plus Patrick Mahomes, and they have Travis Kelce. Can't really say, they're not going to score points. They're going to score points. It would be insane if they don't. But I think of it just looking at every single position group on the football field. The Eagles have a somewhat solid advantage in like almost all of them, it feels like. Now that's not saying that the Chiefs don't have good players. I'm not saying that. My God. Obviously, quarterback Mahomes is better than Jalen Hurts. Obviously. Coaching, I think Andy Reid is a better coach than Nick Sirianni. Andy Reid's one of the best coaches ever. They have a great defensive coordinator. The Eagles also have a great defensive coordinator. It's probably the 2 best defensive coordinators in football this year, being realistic. As a whole, per each unit, like the Eagles secondary as a whole, I think is better than the Chiefs secondary, and I don't know if it's that close. McDuffie's sick. He's really good. Reed, their safety, is really good. They have their other corner is kind of more unknown, but he is good. But I don't think they're collectively better than the Eagles. Linebackers. Zach Bond is unreal. That one might be closer depending how Warren Burks plays, because hit or miss there. O-line, I have the Eagles O-line better than any other O-line in football. They have like 3 All-Pros or Pro Bowlers, and Mailata should have been an All-Pro. It was very weird, but across the board, their O-line is the best in football. There really isn't a hole unless you call Mekhi Becton a hole. Defensive line, they don't have like they have Jalen Carter, who is absolutely goddamn animal. Doesn't put up like insane sack numbers, but he basically destroys every play. Now I think Chris Jones is better, so that end, yeah, you know what? Chiefs have a really good D-line and defense in general. But offensively, I feel like the Chiefs have better wideouts. They have way better running backs. The O-line, again, I think the Chiefs is not as good as the Eagles. So much of this game, to me, is going to show off and like have the feel of like, yeah, this Eagles team is constructed to be a full, well-oiled machine. They know what they have to do. They all are doing their jobs. Good luck beating them when everyone is on the same page. They're doing their jobs. They don't give up big, giant plays. The Chiefs realistically don't ever get big plays. That seems fine with me in a lot of ways, because then it's like, okay, Chiefs, you have to churn out these giant drives every single time you have the football. I think the Eagles' defense is going to get enough stops that it's fine. And then I think Saquon Barkley is way different of a running back that the Chiefs have faced. This O-line is different than what the Chiefs have faced. And the Chiefs have been giving up rushing yards in great days to James Cook and Joe Mixon. And this is an even better O-line, and this is an even better running back. And this is a quarterback that can actually run the football. Josh Allen can run the football, so yeah, CJ Stroud can't. He does not run the football pretty much ever. So it's a way different animal. And then add the fact that you have like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. I think the sheer overwhelming amount of, different options on offense makes it so that it will be hard for the defense to really, pick and choose what they decide. Like, I don't know, are the Chiefs going to do the opposite and say, okay, we won't stack the box, but we'll give up 4+ yards every time Saquon Barkley gets the ball and just try to win that way, which I don't think would go well. I think you're better off saying hopefully he doesn't hit the home run. If he does, well, fuck it. I guess we'll get the ball back. And I also think Jalen Hurts routinely plays the best when it matters the most, especially when he has Lane Johnson, who last I checked is playing. A.J. Brown, last I checked, is playing. There's really no big injuries for the Eagles. Cam Jurgens seems perfectly fine. Landon Dickerson now seems perfectly fine. I'm not that worried. Jalen Hurts' knee seems perfectly fine. They're going to be able to run the tush-push. Whatever the Buffalo Bills ran that the Chiefs stopped however many times, that was not a tush-push. That was Josh Allen running a QB sneak into his own player, and he can't squat the amount of weight that Jalen Hurts can squat while also not being pushed. It was ridiculous. You can say Chris Jones definitely helps them a lot because moving him is way harder than moving a lot of other people. But I think how the Eagles do it, it's you might stop it once, but it's going to work. And then from like the Chiefs' perspective, looking at like they don't have a wideout that I would necessarily sit there and go, oh God, he might absolutely destroy us. Travis Kelce's probably going to. The Eagles are never really good against covering tight ends. Doesn't help that Travis Kelce is also, just really good. But I'm not really that scared of Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, they sound like, I don't know. That doesn't sound like a Super Bowl winning wideout group. So all power to them. Obviously, Travis Kelce added to it gives them, like the star. But Worthy's good, 100%. Can't take that away from him. But the Eagles are also really fast on defense, and they're playing on turf. I'm not that worried about it being slippery or any BS like that. I think the Eagles are going to be able to keep up with any speed that the Chiefs have. I think the Eagles' corners and secondary is going to play extremely tight coverage like they have all year against better wide receivers. I don't think Juju Smith-Schuster is just going to go out there and cook Cooper DeJean every play, or Hollywood Brown's going to cook Darius Slay every play. I don't see that happening at all. And what hurts even more in my head, hurts the Chiefs, is that their running game seems like it's at an all-time worst for them being in the Super Bowl. Kareem Hunt's been great since he came back, but it's still not that high-end level, while also who they hoped and who at the time was doing really well, Isaiah Pacheco. He's been horrible, realistically, if you look at his numbers since he's been back. I don't expect a whole lot from him. The Eagles are usually really good against the run, good D-line, stuff like that. They'll give up some bits every now and then, but I'm not that worried about the run game. The wideouts aren't it just seems like the Chiefs won't be able to score that many points. It just doesn't. If the Eagles lose by a blowout, something bad happened, like Hurts played fucking terrible, or Saquon fumbled or got hurt or something horrible, something like that is, in my opinion, the only way the Eagles get blown out. And yes, if it's a close game, I'd probably sit here and go, yeah, you know what? Chiefs are probably just going to win because they always end up just winning close games. And that's why in my head I'm like, everything should be pointing that the Eagles are the better football team without quarterback and coach, which is obviously two probably most important things you can have going into a game. I think the Eagles as a full team are going to show off, listen, you can win simply by having a full goddamn super team that all these people all of a sudden are deciding. Would have been fucking hilarious if someone called them a super team in September. But that is my final prediction for the NFL season. Eagles winning. Jalen Hurts is going to play good. He's going to have to probably throw it more because it will be somewhat tighter, I think. But the Commanders game, he was throwing great. Better defense. He seems to always play good against the Chiefs, though. So, that's exciting. I think this is exciting. Hopefully they win so that like next year, if they are good or whatnot, it will take the load off and the pressure just a little bit, right? But I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be crazy seeing Saquon Barkley in an Eagles jersey in the Super Bowl. It's really just crazy thinking they're in the Super Bowl a second time in 3 years. But hey, like if we're being honest, Lord knows they couldn't be. There's a chance they're not in one in the next 50. So might as well just take it all in and hope for the best. I fully expect the Eagles to win. I expect them to come out and play their best. I expect the defense to be really good. I expect the offense to be solid. And that, I think, is going to lead them to a solid win. But be sure to leave your comment on what you think is going to happen in the Super Bowl, your predictions, players you think are going to play well, stuff like that. Obviously, the one like Eagles fans and stuff I'm seeing a lot is that Devontae Smith has cooked the Chiefs zone coverage right every time he plays them, yada yada. Who knows? I think Smith will be fine because he's always kind of good in the playoffs. A.J. Brown will probably be good because it's A.J. Brown. I have faith in the good players being good. It's kind of crazy, I know. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Consider subscribing. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Go Birds.